Debra Wallace, licensed marriage and family therapist. My positive reframe today is on anger. Anger is usually seen as bad and something to be avoided, whereas my reframe is to see it as it is signaling a fear, unmet need, suffering in areas that need to be changed in your life, where you may need to speak up, to assert yourself, and to make a difference. Unfortunately, in our society, many of us have learned that if we express anger, that we're going to get in trouble and punished, and that is bad. And also, if we do anything that makes our loved ones, especially our caregivers and parents, angry, that must be avoided, and we must not do that. As our caregivers provide our food, our shelter, our vital needs, and so if they are angry at us and withdrawing their love from us, that is a threat to our nervous system, and we are going to eventually learn to stop behaving and doing those things. I talk a lot about how many parenting strategies are fear-based, and I promote love-based approaches. That's a whole other talk. Because we don't realize how much we are passing on our fears and actually reacting out of anger. Now, anger is a primary emotion. It is vital, but all cultures experience it. It's one of the basic 6 emotions. And so it has a primary function to let you know that something's wrong and to do something. That's more the primary function. And then there's also a secondary function when anger comes out after a buildup of experiences. So I'll often say mad is sad's bodyguard. So often when we have not had our needs met and have been hurting for a long time and suffering, then there can be this buildup and anger comes. And then if we look across the genders, now everything exists in a continuum. I have found that men kind of have a double-edged sword with anger because they're taught often not to express more vulnerable feelings. And so then pretty much the buildup of all their vulnerable feelings comes out as anger. And although anger can be seen as more negative, it seems in our society we almost promote and accept men being angry and strong and powerful, and so it kind of can fit with them more, but it's unfortunately a disservice because anger, when not dealt with appropriately, again does lead to negative outcomes and is toxic to the nervous system and to relationships. So I do want to put that caveat that yes, anger is good, it's vital, but when you look at it as a signal to fears, unmet needs, suffering, and then do something to make a change, that's when it's useful. We can use it to transform and make changes and improve in the well-being. Yet if we just keep cycling in reactions, that is not good. And living in anger is toxic to the nervous system if you're stewing in it, living in it. Speaking about for women tend to be raised to be polite and caregiving and nice, and that anger is a no-no. And if you are angry, women get called horrible names. It's not as attractive on women as our society tends to have it for men. And I've worked with many mothers who come in with rage, like can't believe where it comes out. And the sad thing is with anger, and no matter who it is, it tends to come out on people who are the most vulnerable. And often not the people who are originally the offenders of the biggest wounds. There's this knowing in my field that like if you're having a big reaction, like if it seems out of proportion, it's usually not specific to that event. It's absolutely because you've had so many similar events of feeling powerless or not having your needs met that now it's coming out in this situation. And it's very sad that it does come out a lot on our children, and we take out, usually we're taking it at work, we're taking it with our partners, we're there's other family dynamics that we might be taking it, and then it comes out on the people that are vulnerable. And there's a lot of power and control dynamics in the systems we interact with. And that's why I really embrace anger, because, especially even from children, because they're letting you know there's a clear boundary has been crossed. I think that's a nice way to look at when anger comes, is that when it's that primary function, that a boundary has been violated, and something needs to change. We can't keep going like this. So I encourage you that when you do feel anger, take a moment to pause, breathe. I tend to touch my heart. The first step is noticing it. And I often like to check it, when, obviously we don't have time to do all this processing. I do share other videos about how we can process emotions quickly, but I do encourage you to at least, number one, validate your feeling for anger, and identify a need that's not being met, a reason that's going on for you personally. And breathe, because breathing is like our lifeline. It's a way to get oxygen to all our cells and to send a message to our nervous system that we're indeed safe and in control. And then some sort of coping thought is often helpful, to know that you can handle this, you can do this, you're not alone. However, there's a lot of things going on in life and in our world that can really feel overwhelming. And so that's where we do need to take some time to think about, what do I need to change? Where am I not speaking up enough? Where am I just taking and accepting and tolerating? And I need to voice and be assertive and set a boundary. And I will do another video on boundaries. I think boundaries are so important for so many reasons. But it's scary to do that. Yet you deserve it. And so when anger is coming up, it's really letting you know that you have fears, you have unmet needs, you've been suffering in a situation, and something needs to change. Thank you for listening. I encourage you to listen to my other videos, as well as subscribing and sharing. Take wonderful care.